Welcome back, web designers, to chapter 1. Real quick, I want to show you something and try to clarify a point. I have a piece of paper here, and this piece of paper signifies a file. Now I know you all know this already, that a file can't contain anything. It's just a file. And if I wanted to put this into something, I'd have to make a folder. And inside of a folder, I could put as many files as I wanted to, correct? So let me go take a look and find a folder in images. Let's get a nice visual going on. So if I have a folder, I can put files into this, as many as I need to. And a file is like a piece of paper. Alright, keep that in mind because sometimes in web design, although these are pretty simple concepts, it can get a little bit confusing. Whenever you're looking at a new application, things that you've known all along can kind of go out of your head. So try to keep in mind that with web design, it's the same way. Also, I want you to think about HTML for a second. We talked about how it's just markup language. All it can do is tell a page how to look. That's all it's capable of doing. It can't hold anything. You can't actually put images in the HTML. You can't put animated graphics in HTML, but you can link to them. You can have kind of like a paper chain. You can link. You can build links. So what we're going to be doing today is making a folder that we're going to put all of our images and logos and pretty things in so that we can link to them from our HTML file. So we're going to build links from this HTML homepage to the folder with our images. Okay, I hope that makes some sense as we go into Dreamweaver. Now, if you need to, drop down, select striped umbrella. And actually, this is my second try at this video, so let me go ahead and delete this. And what you'll want to do is click on that main folder, and you can right click and we want a new folder, and this is for all our artsy stuff, so we're going to call it assets. And this could be for PDF files, it could be for all sorts of images. And when I built crowder.edu, if you look at the code, you'll see that I too use assets folders. I did it just like we're doing right here. Now there's one other thing that we want to do. When I drag in an image, I want the website to automatically know to put it inside my assets folder. So I want all my images to end up in one spot. I don't want them to be scattered all over the website here and there in this folder and that. So I'm going to go Manage Sites, Edit, and it says Default Images Folder. And hopefully it'll open under Striped Umbrella, but if it doesn't, double check. You want to go Websites, Striped Umbrella, Assets. And I'm going to choose that as my default images folder. Click OK. Now you're going to rinse and repeat for all of your other websites. But let's go ahead. I'm on page 1-28 of the book. And I've set the default images folder, and I'm going to turn the page to 1-30 and create the home page. Now for this, I'm going to need the CD from the back of the book. So I'm going to pause this video, get my CD out, and get ready to get the files that I need. Okay, I have my CD in. And just popped up. Alright, in Dreamweaver, I'm going to go File, Open. I'm going to surf out to the CD, Data Files for Students. We're in Chapter 1, and it says to open dw1_2.html. Okay. It says the file has several elements in it, including a banner image. But remember, this isn't embedded. Let's take a look at the code. Okay, it's going back to the assets, banner, GIF. So it's trying to look in here for it, but remember we're opening it from the CD, so it's reading it from the CD. We need to get it from the CD over here into our folder. So to do that, we're going to go to step number 2 on page 1-30. File, Save As, and it says where we need to surf back Documents. Yep. Come on, computer. Websites. Striped umbrella. And we don't want to put it in assets. Remember, that's just for our images. So we'll leave it up here. And it says to type in a new name. So up here, we're going to type in index.html. Update links. Okay, let's read and see what it says to do. Okay, it says to say no. Alright, and then when we click down here, normally that would be broken. We're still on dw1.2.html. We need to close that, and we'll keep this index page open. And it'll say tip, as shown in figure 23, the drive where the root folder is stored, the root folder name, blah blah blah, it will no longer be visible, and the page contains a broken link to the image. This is because although we save the HTML file under a new name, a website's root folder, you've not yet copied the image file into the website's assets folder. So we're going to fix that in the next couple of steps. Okay, so we want to click on this so that there's these, it should be 3 black squares and a black border around the image. Now this is the first time we're going to use the Properties panel. This is the other panel I said that we'd be using a lot this year. This has SRC, it stands for Source. And it's looking right now in the Assets folder, it can't find it, so we're going to click Browse for File. And if we have to, we'll go back out to, usually if you're on a Windows machine, this is going to open up in the right spot. But because I'm not on a Windows box, I'm going to have to search for it. Back to Student Data Files, Chapter 1, Assets. And this is, I think it's SU banner. Ah, there it goes. So I guess correctly. If you have a little bit of trouble with this, it's okay. If you manually have to, you always can go out to your CD, to your data files, look in Chapter 1, and take a look at through the assets, and you can always copy these into the folder manually if there's no other way to do it. But don't give up. Don't get so frustrated that you give up. But also don't keep doing the same thing that doesn't work. If something doesn't work, do something different. Notice my image is inside my assets folder because that is the default image file now. Remember, index.html, is it a file or folder? It's a file, and we know this because it has an extension. It says .html. A folder will never have an extension.